Good morning, second grade math students. How are you doing today? Great. Okay, we're going to continue our unit of study on word problems. And today and tomorrow, you're going to be solving two-step word problems. Okay, we are on 7.4 in the book, page 293. And then tomorrow will also be a continuation of two-step problems, 7.5. Okay, and you're going to get this one lesson today. And we're going to go ahead and read the I can statement at the top of your page, page 293 in your workbook. So you're going to need your workbook. Looks like this. And there's two blocks, two bubbles to do the two steps in. Okay, and you can work on your whiteboard first, and you're going to need your marker and something to erase with. Okay. And the whole idea with two-step problems is that you have to actually first solve the first thing that they're asking you to solve in one equation, and then use the answer, the difference or the sum of that equation, to solve the next problem. Okay, let's read the I can statement together. I can model and solve two-step problems using equations. Okay, one more time. I can model and solve two-step problems using equations. And we're once again on 7.4, and tomorrow you're going to do 7.5, and it's page 293 today. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and do the solve and share, the problem with the bees and the flowers. Okay, and I'll read it to you, and you can read along in your notebook. 3 bees land on some flowers. 10 more bees join them. Then 4 bees fly away. How many bees are left? So you want to go ahead and circle those important numbers. 3 bees land on some flowers. 10 more bees join them. Then 4 bees fly away. How many bees are left? So how many bees are left are what you're ultimately solving for in the second step. But the first step, you have to find out how many landed on the flowers before the 4 flew away. Okay, so our first equation is going to be using those numbers. 3 bees. Okay, and you can draw your model. 1, 2, 3 with base 10 blocks. Landed on flowers. Then 10 more joined. Okay. Then 4 flew away. So I'll put a little square here. A little square here. Okay, because this and this is going to be the same number, the same amount. You're going to use what you find is the total here to take the 4 away from. So 3 plus 10 equals 110 and 3 ones, 13. And then I'm going to take that 13, I'm going to bring it down here, and then I'm going to solve. And I can count back. I can break apart numbers. 13 minus 3 equals 10. 10 minus 1 equals 9. Okay, and then I'm going to want to double check, so I'll get my hundreds grid. And I'll find 3. And I'll count up 10. And I know that that's 1 down, so I get it 13. 1 down the hundreds grid, but up the number chart. Down the hundreds grid, but up the number line, thinking up in numbers. Okay, and then I'm going to take away 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I land on 9. And that's the answer I got. And remember, you're supposed to put what it is, so it's 9 bees. Okay, so that's how you would solve that solve and share. Okay, so let's do another one. Erase my hundreds chart. And then I'm going to erase my whiteboard. And I'm going to go ahead and turn to the next page. So let's go to 294. And we can do the guided practice together right here. Okay, and it says, Carmen found 14 shells on Monday. So you want to circle 14. And 15 more shells on Tuesday. And you're going to circle 15. She found 6 more shells on Wednesday. How many shells did she have then? Okay, so I'm going to read it one more time. Carmen found 14 shells on Monday and 15 more shells on Tuesday. She found 6 more shells on Wednesday. How many shells did she have then? So they're saying, how many did she have total? Okay, so it's a two-step problem. Okay, so you're going to take those numbers and you're going to make sense of the words. Carmen found 14 shells on Monday. I could put an M up there for Monday. She found 15 shells on Tuesday. Okay, and then you get your total. You can go right across the numbers here. 4 plus 5 equals 9, because there's no regrouping and exchanging. And then 10 plus 10 is 20. And that's her total. She's not done though, because she went out shell collecting again on Wednesday and she found 6 more. So now we have the 29 and we bring it down here. Remember, I'm going to put the box around it. Okay, 29 plus 6, and I can break apart my numbers. And then I know that 29 plus 1 equals a 30, and there's a 0 in the ones, and anything you add to 0 is the number you're adding to it. That's our 0 property that we learned earlier this year. So 30 plus 5 equals 35. Okay, and what is it? 35 shells. So I want to double check my work. I'm going to go over to my whiteboard. Over to my hundreds grid, sorry. That was my whiteboard. Over to my hundreds grid, and I'm going to go ahead and do the first part, the step 1, and that was 14 plus 15, so I'm going to find 14, and then I'm going to count up 110, which is down the number grid, 10. So we get to 24, and then we're going to go across, because we're adding 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we get to 29. And then we're not done yet, because we're still adding 6 more. So we're going to go, and we're going to do a return sweep, because we're at the end at a 10, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we end up on 35, and 35 shells is what we got. So we double checked our work. Okay. All right, so this is two-step problems, and it looks like we might have time for one more. We're going a little quick. So let's do one more. I'll erase both. Let's go to one of the problems on page 295. And we could do the first one, the independent practice. It says, solve any way you choose. Show your work, write equations to solve both parts of the problem. Okay, so we have, there are 6 red birds and 17 brown birds in a tree. If 8 more brown birds come, how many birds will there be in all? So we have, there are 6 red birds and 17 brown birds in a tree. If 8 more brown birds come, how many birds will there be in all? Okay, so we have 6 red birds Then we have 17 brown birds. Oops, let's put red. And then brown. And then we get our total. And then we take our total and we add it to the other brown birds, 8 more. And then we get the amount that they're looking for, how many in all. And how many, what are we looking for? Birds in all. Birds in all. It looks like an N. Okay, so we can break apart numbers. Okay, so 6 plus 7 is 13. Okay, and 10 plus 10 is 23. Okay, you see how I did that? 6 plus 7 is 13. Got that part. And then 10 plus 10 is 23. Okay, we can also count up 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Make it quick. Okay, and then we take the 23 and we bring it down here. And then we add the 8, and we could break apart numbers here too to make that easier to add. That would be a 7 plus 1. Okay, 23 plus 7 is 30. 30 plus 1 is 31. Okay, so this I broke apart into expanded form, 10 plus 7. And this I broke apart to make it easier to add by making a 0 in the tens. So there's 2 different ways you can break apart numbers. Okay, so I have 31 birds. Let's go ahead and double check on my hundreds grid and see if that's correct. Right, so I started with 6 red birds, in a circle 6, and I added 17. So 17 is 1 10 and 7 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, and then I'm at 23, and that was where I got the first time. 23. Okay, and I'm still going to add 8 more. So 8 more is that way because it's plus. So 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I land on 31, and that's what I have here, 31 birds in all. Okay, so I double check my work with the hundreds grid. Right, 2-step problems. Let's do 2-step problems. Are going to come very, very quick to you, especially once you realize that they're asking you to add. So what they're doing is they're asking you all to add in one. It gets a little trickier when they're asking you to subtract and add. So the first one you add, and then the second equation you subtract. Then it's a little more challenging. Okay. But regardless, I know you've got this. So tomorrow's lesson 7.5 is also going to be solving 2-step problems. Okay, so then the next 2 days you're going to be working on solving 2-step problems. Okay, all right, well, you have a good rest of your day, and I miss you all very much, and I can't wait till I see you again at Bagley, either in the hallways or in the classroom. Okay, take care.